Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long was 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. Excuse me. I just got home for what I like to call my weekend, even though it's midweek. Finished work, I'm off for a few days. It's snowing, which is awesome, so I got all my supplies. I got some pizzas in the freezer. I got some crates of beer, actually in the shed because it's cold outside and it's snowing. So, you know, I'm in moderately good spirits, which is why I'm probably happy that it's snowing. Snow generally shuts this country down. If you're from this country, you know that we cannot handle snow. It's not particularly bad right now, but since I'm in for 4 days, then I'm quite happy for, you know, quite a lot more snow. Hopefully, though, it immediately thaws when I have to go back to work, because one thing about us is we just don't know how to drive in the snow. Seriously, people, you don't put it in first gear, as the bloke did coming home from work this morning. That's just an absolute no-brainer. Anyway, never mind, you didn't need to know any of that. If you want to see a couple of the pictures of the very early snow, but it's still snowing right now, then apparently we're going to get a storm tonight. Oh, which is bad, because it's going to knock out my internet, gale force winds, 70-mile-an-hour winds and stuff. This really is a random vlog for me. Anyway, the question at the top is, do you ever wonder why, or is it fair why some channels make it big on YouTube and others simply don't? You know, when content or production is equally, you know, good, or in some cases very similar on, you know, both of the channels in comparison. And now when I say big, I'm not necessarily talking about huge channels, and you can argue that I've done many times before that with, you know, really big channels, once you make it really big, I don't want to, I'm not talking about like, you know, self-promotion or anything like that, but it's no longer a level playing field, and an eye is turned blindly to some people's content and not to others when it comes to copyright and stuff like that. But I'm just talking in general, because from time to time people PM me, and I've started looking in my, now I know where it is, and a PM on sorry, my inbox on excuse me, on Facebook again, because I haven't really been looking in there since Google ruined the changes, and I've been more relying on people contacting me on Facebook through, you know, the PM system on there, even though not everyone has Facebook. If you want to see pictures of the snow, as I said, people check out my Facebook page. And I got asked a question. I'm not sure why people ask me questions. I like it, actually possibly because I say ask me questions. I like it, but I'm not an authority on anything. I'm just a bloke in his spare room with a dodgy new camcorder, just filming what he thinks, and, you know, something that makes him happy and he enjoys doing. But yeah, someone asked me, like, you know, basically, is it fair what channels make it big and what other channels don't, and how do I get more subs and this and that, and I answered, and it's a fair question, it's a fair point. Lots of people do this because they want to be popular. I don't. I'm not saying I am, I'm not saying I'm not, I'm just saying I'm very appreciative of the fact that I have, you know, a regular audience. And I'm probably going to repeat quite a lot of things I've said before, but I stand by them, so I'm going to repeat them again. And, you know, is it fair? No, yes, kind of an obsolete question. You could do something that someone else does with the exact same production levels, and, you know, you could have every shiny product under the sun and just never get your head above the radar. That's just the fickle nature of the beast, and it's not, you know, just down to stuff like social media and YouTube. That's down to any profession, isn't it? Anything, you know. I'm sure there's a ton of professional footballers who never made it that, if they did, would be equally as good and talented as the ones who are earning ridiculous amounts of money now. Same with actors, you know, voice actors, animators, artists. It's a fickle beast. What, you know, what is popular one minute is not popular the other minute. I mean, you could say there's an argument in that, which is dependent upon when you started, which definitely applies to how Google's, you know, restructured or changed YouTube, which is what makes you, you know, popular at the time. But when people say to me, because I'm not addressing this at anyone other than the person who asked the question, and I never, you know, unless they say, name the person who asked the question, but All I know is I'm very happy on here, and my immediate close circle of friends, they're all incredibly happy with their sub base. They don't look at it as something that needs to grow or be bigger or anything. They look at it as something that they appreciate because it gives them this great level of interaction with a community and provides them with a massive amount of enjoyment. Excuse me again, it is my day off. I don't think people look at it as this kind of item, this trinket, this thing that when it starts to tick up becomes this wonderful badge of honour and people, you know, fawn around and respect you and stuff like that. But then I guess you could argue, you know, that's just part and parcel of the nature of fame, which is a really strong descriptive term to use for what is essentially an internet hobby, ignoring all the really big channels. But as I always say to people, which is just do it, and it's a cliche in terms, I'm going to say it again, just do it, have fun, be yourself, that's all you can do. That's it. Everything else is out of your hands. You could be really polished, you could have an amazing personality, you could be doing something that's better than someone else. I hate phrasing it like that, but ultimately it's out of your hands. Fair, unfair, I don't know. It's not your call, it's not your decision. All I know is you do not get to determine or dictate why you have any level of success or popularity, I should say. This is really becoming random and get away from me. That's simply not your call, like any aspect in life. That's down to, you know, the subjective nature of the individuals who watch you. You know, one man's rubbish is another man's gold. How many cliches can I pump into this? From day one, if you worry about stuff like that, then you're just going to be worrying about it. I mean, if you're becoming popular or getting an audience, then aren't you just going to want more or not? I just say, accept that it's out of your hands. You've entered into this thing that provides millions of people joy, you know, and a wonderful part to be in an expanded community. I was going to say universe, but that makes it sound like comics. An expanded community to interact with people you would not necessarily normally get to interact with. But ultimately, not your call. You didn't walk into school and just go, oh, it's not fair that I've only got said number of friends, or that person's popular. You just know, and you were probably more intrepid about you know, venturing back in those days than you are now. But you just accepted that basically, new school, new environment, new experience. Will I be liked? I don't know. It's not up to me. That's the call of every individual around me. And this is my general feeling of social media, in particular in this case, YouTube. Yes, Google have done things to it that have made it an unfair or unlevel playing ground. You know, you could argue that it is weighted more in some people's favour than it is others. But at the same time, it's just... it's not your call. You can't walk into a room, clap your hands and just say, everyone love and adore me. It doesn't work like that. I do wonder sometimes why people procrastinate and worry about things like this so much. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years next month. Do I consider myself popular? Do I consider myself anything? No, I consider myself the same bloke who does what he's always done, simply to interact with others and answer comments and experience something that just makes him smile. I've never expected anything more than that. But also at the same time, I know that when I was nervous and I first ventured on it, about will people like me and will people not like me, because that is part and parcel of human nature, I've always just thought, I don't know, who cares, you know? As long as you're polite, respectful of others, you know, and ignore the trolls. There are always going to be a bunch of trolls. If anything, that's a sign that you are doing well, which kind of contradicts my purpose or points right now, but just accept that if you do this, ultimately, yeah, pick-up videos and stuff like that may get more audience than other things, because people like show and tell and nice and shiny things, you know? I like pick-up videos. I don't do them very often, and I love watching pick-up videos. And it comes back to taste is subjective on the stuff that I would buy, which would, you know, be why that person got my audience. But just accept that, like anything else, that all you can do is be you. That's it. Everything else is out of your hands. You know, you can have brilliant, shiny production, of which I do not, but I don't care, and I don't plan on having it. You can only do what you do, and that's it. You do not get to decide whether or not you should, you know, whether or not what audience you should get, I should say. I don't want to say what level of success you get, because I don't think that about YouTube. I just think it's a hobby. You know, that's out of your hands. It's never going to be your call. When people worry about, well, think, I need an audience, how do I do this, how do I get this, how do I establish it? You don't. Don't even worry about it. You worry about it for the rest of your life. That's not how it works. That may sound like a cliche answer that I've talked about before, but it's my simple, honest thought when people ask me this question, which is, you know, why do some people and not others, and how do I? You don't. You just do what you do, and you don't worry about it, because everything else is just up to Lady Luck in fate. So that would be my simple answer to that. A couple of other things I would like to talk about. My camera died. Sorry, I've really got windy pops, and this is the wrong way to fix them. My replacement camera finally arrived. It's a Samsung. I would show the actual camera, but ironically it's what I'm using to film this, and I have no idea what it's going to look like. So let's put some tests in. Light test. Because it's looking really washed out right now on the viewfinder. That's where my eyes go like that. My old camera died, but as I said in last week's Wednesday vlog, didn't care. I killed it through sheer overuse, which is not something you get to say very often, is it? And I tracked down, but I couldn't track down the exact same camera. But it comes back to, you know, me talking about production values. That's not windy pumps, that's me yawning because I'm really tired. Sorry, this is really scrabbly. It has the same sort of operating system, the way that you zoom and crop it to the TV and set it to manual focus, and that's all I wanted. So this camera, shock and awe, is actually SD and not HD, but it was the way that I could use it being the exact same as the other camera, which I just could not find for love or money because that's discontinued. Although this is technically, well, not technically, this is discontinued as well. But it was the operating system that I wanted, opposed to the quality, because I only upload in 480 anyway. So yeah, I'm just really happy, because that aside, and this camera going down, and you may not have noticed it because I've been putting videos up, gameplay videos that is, for a week or so, from just because, and this is why I've missed this camera. I have a very large backlog of unlisted videos, not for any reason than I just have. You know, if it's just late one night or I'm bored, or, you know, particularly in this case, if the internet goes down, or the case of these, that's going to be a recurring theme. It just seemed natural and fun because I like playing games and I like talking over games, so I would just, you know, film a bunch of stuff. So I've really missed that not being it's only been a week, fluff, sorry, but I've really missed the fact that I've not been able to just point click record and do something, you know, really kind of, who knows, new. That makes me sound like really I've got nothing else, which I have. It's just I enjoy this hobby so much, and there's stuff that will probably never go public or, you know, anything other than unlisted, but I enjoy it so much that not being able to do it, I guess it's a case of you can't do this, makes you want to do it more, as opposed to you could do this, but maybe I won't do it today. But so happy that I've got this camera. Again, no idea what it's going to look like. Plus, again, it's refurbished. I got it for 85 quid, so super happy. The other thing is, you know, with the storms we've been getting battered in England, because of where I am, I'm in the burbs, our internet, I hope that's a plane and not Armageddon, our internet, I guess the snow's not that bad, comes over, you know, copper wires above ground, so like anything, literally a small asthmatic child blowing on the lines, you know, will knock out our internet. And so we either get it running, which it is now, because you're probably going to watch this after I run it through Handbrake a bunch of times, either knocks it down to absolutely appalling speeds, more so upload than download, it makes it really unusable, or it does this really annoying thing that it's done in a few of my live streams, where it knocks me out exactly every 3 minutes, reboots really quickly, comes back in and knocks me out. So that, coupled with I can't watch videos and I can't make videos for the last week, has really been frustrating. Remind me of how much I love doing this, and that YouTube and the internet is my primary source of entertainment. And apart from box sets, I certainly don't watch, you know, TV when it's aired live or whatever. So yeah, super happy about that. So yeah, a couple of questions, which is, you know, do you think it's fair, or would you like to know why some channels make it bigger than others, you know? And also, how do you feel when you're forced to not being able to make videos through either equipment failure or internet? You know, do you just go meh? You know, I'm not talking about when you take a break or hiatus, but just go meh, I'll live with it. Or you like me, and it kind of, not so much frustration, but just, I want to get back to this thing I absolutely love. Also, possibly related to the internet, I'm going to do a test run with Mr. Burhan tonight. There will be the live stream number 3 tonight of Burhan and The Boy on the Retro Unlim radio network. I'll put a link to the doohickey to it down below, where it's me and Mr. Burhan talking for an hour and a half to 2 hours about answering people's questions. If you have a question for that, put it in this comment section, and we'll also post it in the comments on the stream video when it goes up. We just answer people's questions, and it's just kind of shits and giggles for the laugh. It's something that, you know, it's not a particular stream focus on any one sort of topic. It's not necessarily gaming, it's not necessarily movies or entertainment or sport, it's just everything. It's just what people want to talk about. We read people's questions, we offer our thoughts and opinions on it, and so far it's been quite well received. I think it's safe to say we would do it anyway because we have a blast, and so should go up tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern time. I forget, I get my stuff confused, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time or 1 a.m. UK time here. But as I said, if it doesn't, it might be tomorrow. I'll put an update up on my channel. I'll put an update up on Facebook. It depends entirely on the fact that apparently the gale force winds rolling in tonight at around about 8 o'clock. So maybe my internet, touch wood, won't go down, but if it does, it means it's just better that we wait and don't have this chop there. More so just irritates me and has me cussing and cussing about British Telecom because they're shit. But I'll let you know, but I'll put the links to all this in the doohickey down below, and I'd love to know what you think on these questions. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.